Hello and welcome to this new edition of Torcast here from beautiful Solborg village in Norwayland. And today I have a friend of mine who is a young German who living now in Solborg Camphill, and we are here in the summer 19 and we're talking about life and slow thinking, yeah.
Ja, hallo Tormod.
Hello.
Tak for at jeg kan blive med dig her.
Speak English, yeah.
We have a nice view here.
We have a very nice view.
I never thought it's that nice here, but it is. Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
You know, I see all this forest, and I think like, okay, they can create from woods and forest everything that they can create from oil, they say. Have you heard that?
No.
That from the wood, from the wood and everything with the tree, you can create the same as they create with oil and from the under the ground. And that's kind of triggered me thinking that Russia is very rich. Yeah.
Yeah. But I just about oil. It's always like oil is a very bad thing, bad for nature if it just gets out.
Yeah.
But like 2 days ago, I saw a guy who is doing stuff with like mushrooms.
Yeah, interesting.
And
yeah.
they had 3 different types of like earth mounds.
Okay. Looks like soil, different types of soil, you mean?
Yeah, there was soil and there was oil mixed into it.
Ah, interesting.
So there wouldn't be plants able...
Polluted, maybe. Polluted or soil, yeah.
It wouldn't be able to produce life.
Okay.
And they put bacteria on, another the mushroom, and the last one... Oh, I'm not sure. But what they found out, that this special kind of mushroom can eat the oil up.
Ah.
And it takes the nutrients and after a few days there were a lot of mushrooms growing and a lot of animals were eating the mushroom and giving nutrients also to it, and
circular system.
Yeah.
It's
a new kind of recycling.
Yeah, interesting.
And they said it could be good to use like here with the cleaning Rensingsanlag.
Yeah, the manure, the wastewater.
Yeah, wastewater cleaning or near the autobahn.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean that's interesting. I also heard that they found this worm or bacteria. I'm not sure what's worm or bacteria or both of them, who actually can eat plastic.
Yeah.
And they exist. So I'm like, okay, we have bacteria and or worms that eats plastic. Why are we not going for this like massive scale? I think to myself, you know.
Yeah, I think they're trying to do that, but it's not commercially feasible yet.
And they're so interesting. They said the commercial, the economics, and the idea of circular. I just had a talk to my cousin and at my uncle's 70th birthday on Saturday, and we were talking, a farmer from up north in Norway and me and my cousin talking about a circular economy, because when we buy a washing machine, typically after so and so many years, usually very few years, it breaks down. And most of the times you need a new washing machine. You know, just throw that one on a dump somewhere, maybe a dump in Angola or in wherever there's dumping places available or whatever, and buy a new one. You just consume a new washing machine, thinking that the earth provides us with infinite resources, which it don't. Anyways, the point is that with a circular economy, we could give that Miele washing machine back to Miele and say, okay, this one broke, can you fix it? And I give you a few bucks, right? And Miele fixes the machine for a few bucks, very low pay, or can use the or Miele can use the whole machine and recycle the whole machine within its factories and so on, and give me a new machine that is better functional, because today we throw away so endlessly much stuff that can be reproduced or just fixed, basically.
Yeah, that's true. And have you also heard of this scandal from Amazon?
Yeah.
Where they sold products to consumers, and then the consumers, if they didn't like it, they just send it back. And we think, oh, it's nice to have this like 100-day guarantee to send it back.
Yeah.
But then they don't sell it again.
Okay.
They just put it in a container and bring it on the trash.
Yeah.
And the workers in the warehouse, they see it like thousands of dollars, euros, of ware that is perfectly good.
Okay.
And they cannot take it. If they take it, it's like stealing.
Yeah.
So it has to be like destroyed.
Ah.
Yeah.
Interesting, because and you know, and the idea about circular economy would maybe spark an interest if we could have a more fair share of the income equality, that people are giving more fair income, everybody gets somewhat the same income, something, and that would be like, okay, now I have time to learn how the damn washing machine works. Right now I can screw it open or go to a course in my community somewhere where they teach you about such things. Some Peter Smart has figured it out, and then Peter Smart can teach me about how to do that. About fixing the washing machine, so that we can teach our children how to fix such an obvious thing as a washing machine, because everybody needs that, but very, very few of us know how to fix them.
Yeah, but I think the problem is also like the abundance of things.
Yeah.
And you say, oh, if I would get money from the state, I would have time to learn it. But maybe you could also say, oh, I have even more money now. I can buy like...
Yeah.
I can even buy sooner a new washing machine.
Yeah.
So it becomes an even bigger problem. So it always depends on the humans. And I think in Norway and Germany, we already... I hope to think that we already do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
But it's also, again, dependent on the view one has.
And still though we recycle our plastic and our paper and so on, our glass and metal, and still we do that, there is still lots of things that we don't recycle. Like electronic machines, for instance, which costs a lot and which takes a lot of energy and space and so on. And I think we can also improve how we recycle paper and everything. I think there's lots of things we can do to improve that. And there's every day now progress in, for instance, how the restavfall, the waste that we throw in the garbage, like that is like in Singapore, they burn it, like the diapers and stuff like that. They burn it, and then they collect that ash, and then they work with that ash, or that waste powder, into something. I mean, point is that they have a advanced procedure of that waste ash, the CO2, to make that non-toxic, to make that something that can go back into the soil practically. And such procedures, like in Singapore, they cost a lot of money, obviously. Such fabrics, to burn that under control and everything, to control the toxins that blow off the pipe and so on. But point is that to build such factories of waste disposal costs a lot of money. Such infrastructure is expensive, I imagine, and that's what I've heard anyways. And again, if money wasn't such a big problem for everybody, I mean, for almost 90% of the world's population, or maybe more, money is a big problem. And you have to be a millionaire or a billionaire to not think, and even then it's a problem, you know. But anyways, to most of people on Earth, living fear of not surviving, basically. And if we all were secure the basic income or equal money system or something new money system, we would, relieve from the world, from society, such a endless loads of fear of surviving, and then we can say, okay, everybody has basic survival covered. Now we can look at big infrastructure we can build. For instance, factories to buy ways to burn our waste disposal. That is not like diapers and stuff like that. But also we could like build a fabric in Morocco to clean salt water into drinking water, bring that into Sahara, and make Sahara into a tropical forest. That costs a lot of money. But if money wasn't a problem, we could do that. Make Sahara into a forest. That I would like to see.
Wow.
Because if money is, and more and more I think that even I don't have a lot of money income, but I think, okay, I live in Norway, and since I live in Norway, I'm mostly covered, and I'm out of survival mode,
Yeah.
And with finding that tranquility or peace within myself that I'm fine, I don't need 2 cars and a yacht and so on, or big things and new clothes every month. I don't need that, not at all. I find much greater pleasure in doing things except from buying clothes, basically, or shoes or whatever. And I think that is also a quality, to find that sanity, that peace within self, that have to have the newest phone or the newest whatever all the time. And so many people in the Western world, anyways, are still chasing that idea, of consuming all the whatever hip hop clothing and newest phone or Red Bull or what have you not.
Yeah, but that's also a thing of the mindset. What do you do with this money? I think it's like if you say, like I said, I don't think that more money saves more problems.
Yeah.
It really has to do with mindset.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. You have to find that peace within, sort of.
Yeah. If you can't be happy without money and like with money, then it won't help.
I know, but still there are very many people who live like in fear of survival, right? Like in Sudan or Ethiopia or Nepal, where they practically have nothing, and very many are starving and getting sick from malnutrition. So at least I would say that I agree with you that also to those people there are options if they are willing to see those options wherever they might be, of personal change, that could lead to world change, basically.
Well, what can we do about it?
Yeah.
I mean, for us, we also had like last week milieu meeting, environment meeting in Solborg here, and we are talking about what can we do better. And we tried 1 hour to come up with things, and now we have a list. And I mean, Camphill is already doing a good job, we think, but there's still things we can improve on, also on the car use. And if we are selling things in the bakery, it's always in the plastic also sold. And there are several things, and we try to improve ourselves here. But the problem is, I mean, this only helps our community. If we go into other places outside of Norway, they still have these big problems. And I saw recently there was this thing on the internet, #FreshTag. You know that?
Okay, I have not heard about that. FreshTag, okay,
It's like social media. People use social media. They make a photo of a place that is polluted with a lot of garbage. And they make a before picture and after picture with themselves and the garbage.
I've seen that. Challenge.
Yeah,
trash challenge.
And they say, we just do it for publicity, and everybody can can participate.
Yeah.
And you just clean the environment out of intrinsic values, and also, I mean, maybe a little bit egoistic to get some upvotes, but
yeah, I saw that. I've seen some photos of that, and I really like that movement. That is real, what shall I say, lack of better words, grassroots, ordinary people in Guatemala or in Philippines or in Africa or in Sweden or wherever that do stuff like, okay, I can improve this environment, I can pick up some trash before after shot.
Yeah.
So I do that, and the people like that, and it spreads like wildfire more or less, and
it helps with the consciousness of the people also. Exactly. They said, like in Malaysia or in India, it's not a big thing to just throw things on the street or in the between of houses. There's space, we can just throw it there, but
burn it, yeah,
the more people do it, and when people see, oh no, this is really clean and nice, maybe more and more people will think, oh, maybe I just don't want to throw something away here. Yeah.
I find that interesting about throwing away something. They have this plastic thing and just throw it into nature. And I was discussing this with a friend of mine, and we were disagreeing a bit. But I found the reason that, you know, mentally, I've been trained to throw away things from my mind, like projections, anxiety, fear, anger, depression, like stuff, like emotions, like just throw away. Like expression sort of, but it's all like throwing away my inner garbage, my consciousness or whatever, and just throwing it out there just because I cannot bear it, more or less, and trying to, I mean, because we from school and society and everything have not been trained in being like mastering ourselves, basically, like handling our own minds and our own consciousness and our own inner world. We are trained at basically following orders and or systems and consuming and go to church and eat apples and be a nice guy and everything. We've been taught to just accept the current standards and so on, the political system, the financial system, the school system. We've been just taught to just bite that bullet, basically, and just accept that, and just, okay, maybe better tomorrow. But within that, it boils over. Obviously, it boils over massively, you know. And you're stuck there with anxiety or fear or drug abuse or mental illness and so on. And you just have to ventil out some of this gas within yourself, like if it's anxiety or whatever it is. And from that point of view, we teach ourselves to throw away things out of the car or wherever because we cannot handle our own inside, basically.
Wow. And do you think if people would get taught how to handle that oneself, do you think the environment would also improve?
Yeah. I mean, that is how, I think so, because if I can learn to master myself, to handle myself, to treat my body basically with respect and find focus and stability as the physicality of me, as my life essence, then I would see also in nature and everywhere, like, you know, if I walk around in the city, I would usually, not all the time, but I pick up some trash and throw it in a trash bin, because I know that it would blow into the sea and end up in some turtle or some whale's stomach, and that is not cool. I don't accept that. So I choose to do a little bit of effort every day. But typically seeing cigarette butts, like but I heard that birds use cigarette butts in their nest because the toxins from the cigarette butt drives away the insects, the small bugs from the nest. That's what I've heard. That's kind of interesting.
Wow.
How nature adapts, sort of, to our systems.
Yeah, I want to say, I just noticed with the throwing away.
Yeah.
I was in Oslo on Saturday, and we were a big group of people, and I always had to look after the people with disabilities also.
Yeah.
And I had this Pfandflaske, this
bottle to return to.
Yeah. And usually I hold on to them, and I will keep them and store them, and Yeah, but because I've had things on my mind and had to look after other people and was a little bit stressed, I just threw it away in the trash.
Yeah.
And it just noticed afterwards, oh, I threw it away. Usually I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
And I thought, wow, maybe this is how it is with other people. When they throw away things, that it's so unconscious because they have these things on their mind and they don't even do it because they think about it. And they don't throw it in the trash, they just throw it on the ground. So I thought maybe in this moment I saw this possibility to do this in myself. And that was really interesting for me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, cool. That's how I think that our neurons find new pathways within our brains and within our bodies, basically. How we learn new things, how we can learn from each other and see that, okay, now I understand Mr. Thomas over here, or I understand Ingrid and so on, and I can see what they have, some of their math, basically, you know, some of their mathematics. So that's interesting,
Yeah, I mean, that's just the whole thing about how the environment affects one.
Yeah.
You know?
Should we say that's it? Thank you for this new podcast. See you later. Bye-bye.